Ever wondered what those tiny Latin inscriptions on medieval coins really mean? From secret codes to royal propaganda, these ancient messages tell fascinating stories of power, religion, and intrigue. Let's decode these metallic time capsules together. In the bustling medieval mints of Europe, Latin wasn't just the language of scholars, it was the universal language of money. Around the 8th century, mint masters began adding Latin text to coins for a practical reason: to fight counterfeiting. These inscriptions typically included the ruler's name, their title, and where the coin was minted. For example, a typical coin might read Carolus Rex FR, meaning Charles, King of the Franks. But why Latin? Well, it was the official language of both church and state, understood by educated people across Europe. This meant a coin minted in Paris could be trusted in Rome, making Latin inscriptions an early form of international currency verification. Let's explore some of the most common Latin phrases that appeared on medieval coins. Dei gratia, or by the grace of God, was extremely popular, showing the divine right of rulers to mint money. Rex simply meant king, while Regina stood for queen. You'll often spot civitas followed by a city name telling you where the coin was minted. Moneta nova meant new money, a phrase used to announce fresh coin designs. Some coins even carried religious messages like Christus vincit, Christ conquers. These weren't just random words, they were carefully chosen to reinforce royal authority and religious power. Imagine these coins as tiny billboards, spreading messages across medieval Europe with every transaction. Medieval rulers weren't shy about using coins to showcase their power, and their coin inscriptions reveal some pretty bold claims. Take the English King Edward III, who added Rex Franciae, King of France, to his coins, even though he didn't actually rule France. These royal titles on coins often read like a medieval resume, with rulers listing every territory they controlled or claimed. Some went as far as calling themselves Rex Totius Britanniae, King of all Britain, or Imperator, Emperor. The bigger the title, the smaller they had to make the letters to fit it all on the coin. It's fascinating to think that these tiny metal discs were actually powerful tools of royal PR, spreading the ruler's claims of authority every time someone made a purchase. Medieval coins weren't just about money, they were powerful tools for spreading Christian messages across Europe. The church and state worked together to include religious symbols and phrases that everyone would see in daily transactions. Common inscriptions like Christus vincit, Christus regnat, Christus imperat, Christ conquers, Christ reigns, Christ commands, appeared on countless coins. These coins also featured crosses, saints, and biblical scenes, making them like tiny, portable pieces of religious art. For rulers, adding religious messages to coins served two purposes. It showed their devotion to Christianity and legitimized their power through divine authority. Think of it as medieval social media. Every time a coin changed hands, it spread these religious messages further. Now, let's uncover some fascinating mysteries where coin inscriptions helped historians solve historical puzzles. Take the curious case of the Pren coins found in Anglo-Saxon England. For years, historians were baffled by this abbreviation until they connected it to a forgotten mint in Canterbury called Quanwick. Then there's the famous SC mystery on Roman coins, long thought to mean senatus consulto, but actually revealing a complex system of bronze coin production. Perhaps most exciting was the discovery of coins with Reddit inscriptions, which helped archaeologists trace ancient trade routes through medieval Europe. These small metal clues continue to help us understand how money moved, kingdoms expanded, and power changed hands throughout the Middle Ages. Let's dive into the fascinating world of medieval coin making. The process of adding inscriptions to coins was an art form that required incredible skill and specialized tools. Die sinkers, the master craftsmen who created coin designs, used small iron punches and delicate chisels to carve letters backward into steel dies. They had to work with extreme precision. One slip could ruin days of work. The letters were typically created using a set of master punches, each containing a single letter or symbol. These punches were hammered into the softer dye material to create the negative image that would later press the inscription into the coin. A skilled dye sinker could create beautifully consistent lettering that would last through thousands of strikes. Medieval rulers were masters at using coin inscriptions as a powerful form of early propaganda. Think of coins as the medieval version of social media. They reached everyone from peasants to merchants. Rulers would carefully choose their inscriptions to shape public opinion. For example, when William the Conqueror took England, his coins proclaimed him as the rightful king in both Latin and Anglo-Saxon, helping to legitimize his rule to both Norman and English subjects. During times of civil war, rival rulers would mint coins with competing claims to the throne. Even unpopular kings would add flattering titles like the Good or the Just to their coin inscriptions, trying to improve their image. These tiny metal discs became powerful tools for spreading royal messages and shaping how people viewed their rulers. Medieval mints had a clever system to fight fake coins, and Latin played a key role in this security effort. They developed special Latin codes and unique letter combinations that only trained money inspectors could recognize. For example, some mints would deliberately add tiny dots between letters or use specific abbreviations that counterfeiters often missed. The placement and style of Latin letters also served as security features. Genuine coins had precise letter spacing and consistent depths that were hard to copy with primitive tools. Some coins even included intentional errors that actually served as security marks. Think of it as a medieval version of the security strips we have in modern banknotes. These Latin codes were the original anti-counterfeiting technology. Just as medieval kingdoms had their own unique cultures, their coin inscriptions showed fascinating regional variations. In England, Latin inscriptions were typically short and formal, focusing on the monarch's title and mint location. French coins often included longer religious phrases, while German coins frequently listed multiple territories under the ruler's control. Italian city-states took a different approach. Their coins often praised the city itself, with phrases like Florentia for Florence taking center stage. In Spain, coins reflected the mix of Christian and Muslim influences, sometimes featuring Latin on one side and Arabic on the other. The size and style of letters also varied. Northern European coins typically used blockier letters, while Mediterranean mints preferred more flowing scripts. Even medieval mint masters weren't immune to making mistakes, and their Latin blunders have left us some entertaining numismatic treasures. Some coins from the 12th century show Rex Angel instead of Angliae, a spelling error that would make any Latin teacher cringe. In other cases, letters were reversed, creating mirror images that confused merchants. One famous example is the CNVT coins of King Canute, where the die sinker regularly mixed up the letter order. These mistakes weren't just embarrassing. They actually helped modern historians identify specific mints and die makers. Sometimes local mint workers who didn't understand Latin would copy inscriptions phonetically, creating unique hybrid words that weren't quite Latin or local language. Thanks for joining us on this journey through medieval coin inscriptions. If you enjoyed decoding these ancient messages, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Share with your history-loving friends, and we'll see you in our next historical adventure.